what a broad field. And so I wanted to narrow this down to something that would be more for credit unions that are just getting started or have recently thought about starting, and what would be the approach and what would be the type of accounts that I think will make sense for you to be competitive. So let me introduce again, if you don't mind. njBIZloan Connection is a new company, a new program that's partnered with the New Jersey Credit Union League and with Biz Lending and Insurance Center. We're going to talk about that a little bit in a moment. Again, my name is Murray Halperin. I'll be your sole presenter today. Hopefully you'll have some questions. Please type them in. And before we finish the day, we'll also have a question and answer period. I'm going to try to get through this pretty quickly today within the next 30 minutes or so. So welcome. So who is njBIZloan Connection? Well, we hope that you'll hear more and more and more about us. We are a new and exclusive service for member credit unions exclusively of the New Jersey Credit Union League. njBIZloan Connection's partnership is between the Service Corporation and my company, Biz Lending and Insurance Center Incorporated. So let's get started. We're going to start off with a question. So Andrea, I believe you're going to take this part of it right now.
Okay. We have a question. Does your credit union offer business deposits? It's multiple choice. We'll take a few seconds to let attendees select. I'm going to share the results. I'm not sure if anyone had selected, but Murray, you're able to take it from there?
Yep, I got it. Thank you, Andrea. So either no one voted or great, none of you have business deposit accounts, kind of what I had thought. So I wanted to get a feel of who I'm talking to. These are what we're going to talk about today, folks. So let's get started. Here we go. Excuse me. Before I get into this, I look at this as kind of, do you ever see the movie Field of Dreams? Remember Field of Dreams? What a great movie, Kevin Costner. And in the movie, the voice behind everything was Shoeless Joe Jackson. Shoeless Joe Jackson was a famous Chicago White Sox baseball player who got involved in a scandal, and he got thrown out of the league right after the World Series. And he would keep saying in the movie, if you build it, they will come. Well, that's kind of how I look at business deposits. If you build it, they might come. And the point I'm making is you need to first and foremost determine what your strategy is going to be. And this session, we're really not going to talk much about marketing strategy and how we're going to go out and obtain new business and get new deposit accounts and infiltrate our current market base to find out. That might be a topic of a whole another web presentation down the road. But today we're going to discuss the type of accounts that are really popular out there and how they can fit on your core. And then we could discuss strategy. So what are business owners looking for? What are associations looking for? What are non-for-profits? What are government organizations? If we can start from this premise, I think that we can then back into what makes a good deposit program. The first thing is, it's fees. Business owners are going to look for the lowest possible monthly fees for their services, for their accounts. Just look at your local newspaper, if you still look at your local newspaper, or the internet, or the TV. The big banks are pounding after small business right now, and they're talking about zero fee accounts. It's not true. You got to look at the transactional costs, which is the next one right here. We need to price the credit union's features against the local banks, and those will be all the different features that your business accounts offer. And we will need to do a market study of what the bank's transactional costs are. There are some publications that publish this information, That would be the first step, going into those publications, putting in your branch zip codes, and determining from there what are the cost structures to be competitive. Your business owners and associations, they're going to want access to funds. How quickly can they use their deposited funds? And the last one is certainly the most important nowadays, online features. Can they conduct most business electronically? Unfortunately, this is where we have a sticking spot in the credit union industry. Most of our credit union clients, and yours probably for those of you I'm talking to right now, your online services is designed for consumers. They're not necessarily designed for businesses, and in many cases that makes you somewhat non-competitive, but we would need to talk about the costs to upgrade your core or to find a third-party system to be in the middle so you could provide competitive online features. So this is premise one. Everything we're going to talk about is based on these premises, so let's get going to the next slide. Competing with banks, because that's really what we're after. Credit unions can provide a great value to small and mid-sized businesses with unique business deposit and cash management solutions. Your organization can accelerate deposit growth by developing the following solutions. So let's get into these solutions. First is simple. You all can provide this. If you're not, this is going to be provided on your core. We're going to call it a basic business checking account. That would be the simplest and easiest thing to do. It's going to mirror pretty much what a consumer account looks like. Your basic business checking account product, it will be recommended for the credit union to utilize. If you have an analysis module as part of your core, you would want to put it in there. This way the product will enable the credit union to properly bill for wide range of fees and services. If you don't have that ability, well, then you have to price that account accordingly. Target markets, simple and economical. This account is ideal for small or micro companies or companies with revenues below $1 million, companies under 3 years in business. And this gives you as a credit union an entree into the small, really small business market, and you hand in the door with that client if and when their business grows. So that would be the first thing if you don't already have. What is the structure of a basic business checking account? Well, you can offer an earnings credit or an interest payment if the core allows. You can include a monthly maintenance fee. You can require a minimum average balance to avoid monthly maintenance fees. You can create a threshold of free item count for the following activities: check transactions, cash deposits, deposited items. Items over these thresholds should be charged. So in effect, you're going to give them the basic services just like you do your consumer account for free, and then other items you'll have to charge for it. Fees should flow through an analysis billing system to allow for a detailed formatted statement. By the way, these analysis systems can be outsourced to a third party. So what you have in effect is your core system communicating to the third party. The third party then could create a analysis system which creates the statement, and the statement then gets generated, and now your credit union, if you had the right strategy to attract businesses, doesn't have to change core. It's a big item, it's there, it's available. Last here is items for consideration. Offer an option to waive all monthly fees based on their overall business and personal relationship of, let's say, of being more than $250,000 in average balances or outstanding loans and lines of credit. So trying to build a relationship structure even with the basic business checking. Let's move on. This is a really important account. If you have business with municipalities, non-for-profits, and associations, and this could be pretty large deposits, so you'd have to, again, talk about the strategy. Do you want to capitalize for large deposits if you're not able to put that money out on the street quickly enough as loans? But we're happy to have that discussion with anybody. So what's the overview of a business non-for-profit checking account? It's an account product that's designed to specifically attract, like I said, government agencies, association, and community organizations. This product should offer an earnings credit in order to be more competitive. The product should include an analysis billing module because there's usually quite a bit of transactions from these type of accounts. And this is an earnings credit checking account and is ideal for the organizations I just mentioned that have been in operation, 2 or 3 or more years. So you're looking for mature non-for-profits. That's what this account would attract. So the structure of a non-for-profit account would be, like I said, it should offer earnings credit. It should have a monthly maintenance fee. It should have a minimum average balance required to avoid the maintenance fee. A threshold of free item counts for the following activities, just like the basic one: check transactions, cash deposited, deposited items. Items over these thresholds you can charge, or put everything through a billing analysis system to allow for a detailed formatted statement presentation which is clear to the member. It's my experience that these type of accounts are going to require an analyzed billing statement. So if your core does not provide that, we would have to figure out how to get it outsourced. And most definitely, based on the competition in your market, you would have to have a zero fee, a zero monthly maintenance account available based on the business relationship dollars. And it might be $250,000, it might be less, it could be more, but we'd have to determine that number. Excuse me. The basics earning checking account would be the next one. This is what most businesses are going to expect and now becomes the most popular account. This should be considered as a starting competitive product offering. Most commercial banks in your market offer this product, and it is an expectation of many businesses. Many years ago, prior to 2011, banks could not pay interest on checking accounts, business checking accounts. Credit unions had a clear advantage there, but that's changed and now they can, so we have to compete. What's the target market for the basic earning checking account? Well, we recommend this product to accommodate market awareness. This account continues to grow with the business, answering the need for additional transaction and account management options for companies that have been in business for a while and have very active financial needs. This account will enjoy the added benefits of customized pricing based on their financial activities. The product should be for an established business with revenues in excess of $1 million, companies in business over 4 years. This is an earnings checking account and should be the basis of how you move forward to try to attract larger businesses. What's the structure? Pretty similar to the structure for the non-for-profits. We should have an earnings credit, should have a monthly maintenance fee. In addition, you should have a minimum average balance required to avoid that fee. Like all the other accounts, given the option for a free item count based on basic needs, and you can negotiate those basic needs based on the type of business and what their business is and what their needs are. Anything over those basic needs, well, then you could charge them for those usages. If possible, run it through the analysis system so they can get a statement every month, and you can continually have somebody knock on your most aggressive businesses' doors, watch where their money's going out of those statements, so you can make sure you keep that flow going through the credit union. With this type of account structure, You will need some relationship managers, in my opinion, people that know how to talk to a more active business. This is something for a more graduated approach with business services, but the reality is it's a void. The credit unions that can adapt and adopt to this, I do believe, will really start knocking on the door of the banking market. Like the other accounts, provide an option for a zero fee account based on the overall relationship. And now we've discussed quickly 3 basic accounts, haven't we? The business money market account. For a lot of years, the money market account wasn't doing anything. The reason, well, you know it, the interest rates were so low, it made 0 cents in most cases to be moving money with from one account to another. So many small business owners or treasurers of other businesses just weren't doing it. But now, boy, with interest rates moving up, I do think we're finding a new world in business money market accounts. Businesses are parking money. They're taking money out of the market. They're taking money from other sources. They need places to pocket money. So this account should be structured, modified, and offered to all businesses with high balances looking for the potential of earning higher interest while retaining quick and easy access to their funds. You could pretty much mirror your consumer money market as your business money market. You'll have to talk to whomever your provider is, but it can be done. This product will give your member the liquidity while providing an opportunity to earn higher dividends. The number of transactions should be restricted. There's a reasonably good opportunity that you'll attract stable deposits with a money market product for business. The business money market account breaks out into its own product type, which is necessary for reporting and flexibility with pricing features. Should be more attractive if rates continue to go up, and that seems to be what our Federal Reserve is indicating, doesn't it? Business money market account structure. This product should pay interest. The product should have a monthly maintenance fee. It should have a monthly minimum average balance required to avoid the monthly maintenance fee. It should also offer at least 3 tiers of interest based on dollar amount. Should follow Reg D guidelines. All fees, should flow through the analysis billing system, which will allow for a detailed formatted statement presentation, which is clear to the member and will reduce the call volume to your credit union. So if we have a good system in place, then they'll stop getting calls, explain to me what happened. The total fees will be automatically debited to the checking account. Same consideration. I do this with every checking account that I think you put in. You must, or services account, come up with some type of way to give them an incentive to do more business with the credit union. I think it's mandatory that we do that. Oops, sorry about that. So, a business savings account. How does a business savings account help? Well, this account product should be developed and structured similar to your consumer savings account. Gives the member liquidity while providing an opportunity to earn interest on the surplus cash. This will be used from that very small micro account. Maybe you pump up the rate a little bit more than your checking account will be so they can park money. Will you get many businesses using a business savings account? Not until rates really go up more, but if you have it, it's easy to implement, it's easy to maintain, and it's just another thing to offer in your brochure when you go out talking to these business members. A business certificate of deposit, that's correct. This can give you another avenue when you need to track money. So especially for those credit unions that might be getting near your cap, this is a great way to attract a business, great way to pump up your, if you want to pump up your SEG program, it's all available, it's all there, it's right in front of you. The overview for this is the account product should be developed and structured to offer a competitive interest rate with flexible terms along with the security of being insured. That's a nice thing to talk about. A lot of us forget that. This may be the best choice for business members with cash reserves that they do not need to draw on in the near future. It's also a product that should be offered in addition to the consumer product and should be a separate for business members, primarily for rate, term, and tracking differences. I was at a credit union just last week in New Jersey. They have a business CD, and they bumped the rate, and they were attracting money like crazy. This credit union is lent out basically over 100% loan to value, loan to share ratio. So this was a great way for them to go get some money from their local businesses. So what would the structure of a business CD be? Well, the product should offer flexible terms, transfer of interest or automated reinvestment options. Interest should be compounded daily and paid monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or to maturity for terms of 1 year or less. So you can choose how you're going to want to pay this. It's a great way for businesses to save and for the credit union to communicate with your business owners. So let's talk about business debit cards. All of you have a consumer credit card. I would immediately talk to whomever your core provider is for cards and find out what the terms of their business credit cards are, because not only is this a great way to help your business owner, but a nice way to earn fee income on a more aggressive basis than you are right now from the consumer point of view. The business credit card program, check card, is designed specifically for business accounts and provides advantages over the consumer product. A business will have the ability to grant business debit cards to multiple employees of their company and maintain control of the daily dollar amount for withdrawal by setting a maximum daily dollar amount limit for each card. Imagine that air conditioning heating company that has 50 trucks on the road. Well, you could do a lot with that, couldn't you? I can go on with examples, but it's a great way to drive business into the credit union. The third bullet, the company can monitor the activity by viewing their statements online. The statements include cardholder information, store location, date, and amount of the transaction. This type of product can be outsourced to a third party, so your credit union has multiple options if they have the correct strategy for attracting business accounts at the credit union. Merchant services. This is a part of the lineup. Most credit unions don't offer merchant services. I would recommend merchant services to be outsourced to a third-party affiliate or a third-party company that you can partner with. There's no sense putting this in place at the credit union. But the merchant services program will provide the flexibility for a business member to accept payments in a variety of ways, including gift cards, reward programs, which might be specific to the business, and much more. Like I said earlier, it should be purely a referral program. No processing or additional responsibilities need to be required from the credit union. Now, I've seen merchant programs really bring in a lot of business over the years for some credit unions. And they're, as you know, everybody's using plastic and credit cards, so why shouldn't that money flow through your credit union? The addition of transactional fees back to the credit union are exciting. So you're getting money flow, transactional fees. It's a wonderful way to proceed. Cash management. I'm going to spend some time on this. This is really important. I'm of the opinion that if you don't have a robust cash management program online, easy access, easy managed, a couple of things will happen. As you start adding more clients, your branches will get busy, and most business owners or large businesses, they don't want to have to go into the branch. It's a waste of time in most cases. So if you don't have, if your core can't support a business approach to cash management, I would suggest you talk to your core provider, find out what will be taken to upgrade, or there's ways to outsource this also. So the overview, as I look at it, is the credit union can offer their business members the opportunity to maximize the use of their business accounts by providing a robust cash management solution. If you think back to one of the first slides, a basic checking account, you could use your current consumer cash management. But as you start growing with the type of accounts you're offering that are going to ultimately attract more aggressive businesses, that consumer platform will not be competitive. You'd be wasting your time on those businesses that require more robust. The cash management solutions, as you know, provides a 24-hour, 7 days a week a mechanism anywhere there's an internet connection for that business to do business, and we are in a 24/7 world. Just think about how often you log on to your credit union's computer when you're not in the office. Same approach. The product offers a sophisticated set of online tools that can be customized to suit any business. So here are some of these tools, and these are pretty amazing approaches, and there's many more. I like to get these meetings done within 30 minutes or so before everyone starts getting tired of listening to my voice. But let's talk about remote deposit capture. The price of remote deposit capture has come down dramatically. Putting a remote deposit capture machine or high speed at companies that still use a lot of checks is an inexpensive way for the credit union to go. You'll be able to attract municipalities, you'll be able to attract many other types of businesses, and you can outsource almost every single feature of that remote deposit capture to a third-party business. Balance reporting, well, that's almost a mandatory nowadays. You're going to need that. You're going to need it available online so your business owner can use that. Online stop payments. Well, the amount of checks being used is decreasing quite a bit. They still want to be able to do a stop payment whenever necessary as quickly as possible. Excuse me. Online account transfers. They want to be able to move money from one account to another account simply and easily. They might have multiple accounts within the credit union, and they want to be able to move that money. Most systems easily handle that.
Murray?
Electronic wire, yes.
We have a question. Is
RDC
really needed any longer with people gravitating towards digital payments?
Well, as I said, as checks are declining, they're not, unless you attract a business that is continuing to use checks. So a lot of these are not. Remote deposit capture, it depends on the business. Balance reporting is. Electronic wire transfers are mandatory. But to answer the correct question directly, most of these features that involve checking is not that important as we move forward. Thanks for jumping in. I didn't even see the question. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Did I answer the question? Yeah. But electronic wire transfers are important. ACHs are important. Account reconciliation is important. Positive pay, not so much anymore. Bill payment, vital. And payroll services has now infiltrated its way right into these online cash management systems. And these are some of the basic features that many of these business accounts are going to want. The credit union can grow into them based on the type of accounts that they're going to be offering as they move forward into online banking. So some of the things that we really wanted to talk about is you have your strategy in place, you've got your accounts in place. how do you track all this? How do you make sure that you've got business development and tracking done? So here's just some ideas that I threw on here before we open this up for question and answering. Uh, how do you get all this going? Well, to start, I'd suggest the credit union obtains a market data share report for the credit union. What's really going around around your market? Analyze the data report for each credit union branch location. That'll determine the bank competitors within the credit union's branch footprint. What are these banks offering? How many accounts do they currently have? What's their business deposit volume? Know your market. Then gather the competitors' product offerings and pricing, and you could use several resources, websites, brochures, do a secret shopper, knock on the door, contact that bank branch in your area, and you can be able to confirm the regional pricing right then and there and their different account offerings. Develop the business deposit product and pricing recommendations that are based upon your credit union's current core system. So let's do a full analysis of that core with the sales representative from the company or whoever that you talk to there, and find out what is available and what it's going to cost that credit union. Once we've gathered these things together, we can create a pricing comparison analysis and determine, does it make sense? What potential money is available there to the credit union? From there, provide samples of deposit forms, resolutions, get your deposit information in order. So you can train all your branch people and anybody that might be available that's going to be opening up business accounts. Create then the business deposit manual. Have your policy and procedures, business account resolutions and documentation, business account products and services recommendations, business deposit pricing recommendations, and your comparisons to your market, and a glossary of all terms. Find the people that are within your organization that have business deposit opening background and understanding. Throw them a bone to help teach the others who don't have that background, and start getting the organization in place to move forward to effectively offer these products. The business deposit manual should be completed a long time before kickoff so it can be passed through the credit union for training purposes to the targeted people that will be needed. This is how we help get credit unions started. Would be my recommendation to think through this together and determine if this makes sense. Excuse me. So just a little background on us. Who's njBIZloan Connection? Many credit unions want to provide business services to their community, but do not have a large enough member base or market to support the costs of a complete member business lending or deposit program. This is where njBIZloan comes to place and help the credit union. We have a few programs. One's called our referral program. That's a solution for credit unions that would like to provide their end users a business loan, but do not have the internal capacity or resources to manage any part of the loan. In effect, the credit union has no expertise needed. We handle all that. And if you're a referring credit union, you get non-interest income based on the amount funded, help your member grow their business. You could build the deposit base starting with the referral loan program, helps you attract new members, and gets you learning more about business lending. So yes, what are we recommending here? Start your deposit program by offering some sort of business commercial lending program, and this is one of the options available. I'm happy to talk to anybody about that at some other time. So I try to get the first part of this program done in 30 minutes or so. I did. Yay, I know that sounded quick. Andrea is going to be posting this presentation for you all to review. And I'm happy if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Let me know what those questions might be, or you can email me, whatever makes sense for you. There's my email, murrayh@njBIZloan.com, or please visit our website, njBIZloan.com, and there'll be forms for you to fill out and request additional information. Andrea?
Thank you, Murray.
What do you think of that? You're welcome. Does anybody have any questions?
We'll go ahead and take some time for questions now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the question box in the Q&A option in the control panel.
Great. Well, if nobody's got any questions, I'll be in New Jersey, and all through New Jersey, seeing credit unions in May, and June, July, and August. And if you'd like for me to stop by, please let me know. I'd be happy to sit and chat with you. Back to you.
Great. Great. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here. A special thank you to Murray for his time today. This webinar was recorded and will be made available for your reference in the members-only area of our website. The presentation slides will also be emailed to you once they are made available. As a reminder, we have a scheduled series of educational webinars on Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Please be sure to visit njCULservices.com and check under our events calendar for the full list. Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you next time.